intimidating true horror stories animated. Lana had lived in Houston, Texas, for less than a month when she first noticed him. A tall man, always dressed in dark clothing, appearing at places she frequented. It started at the coffee shop near her apartment. He sat alone, flipping through a book, occasionally glancing in her direction. She ignored it. Then, she saw him again outside the grocery store, standing near the entrance as she loaded her bags into the car. Their eyes met for a brief second before he looked away. Lana convinced herself it was nothing. Just another face in a crowded city. But the third time was different. It was late, and she had just finished her shift at the diner. The parking lot was nearly empty, the air thick with humidity. As she approached her car, she felt something, a presence. Turning her head, she saw him standing near a black sedan, staring, not at his phone, not at anything else, just at her. Her heart pounded. She quickly unlocked her car, got in, and locked the doors. For a moment she sat there, hands gripping the wheel, waiting to see if he would move. He didn't. She started the engine and pulled out of the parking lot, checking her mirrors every few seconds. The sedan remained parked. Maybe she was overreacting. Maybe it was just a coincidence. That night, she dreamt of him. In the dream, she was standing in a dimly lit room, surrounded by mirrors. He appeared behind her, his breath warm against her neck. He whispered something, but the words melted before she could understand them. She woke up drenched in sweat, her heart racing. Just a nightmare, nothing more. The next day, Lana met up with her coworker, Nate, at a local bookstore. She browsed through a row of novels, trying to distract herself. And then, there he was, standing near the entrance, flipping through a hardcover book. The same dark clothing, the same cold stare. Lana grabbed Nate's arm. "Do you see that guy?" she whispered. Nate glanced over. "Which one?" "The one in black. He's been showing up everywhere." Nate squinted, then shrugged. "I don't see anyone weird. You sure you're not just imagining things?" Lana's stomach dropped. The man was right there, wasn't he? She turned back, but the space where he had been standing was empty. Lana didn't sleep that night. Every time she closed her eyes, she saw him. The dream felt more real now, his breath against her skin, the whisper just out of reach. She left the lamp on, heart pounding at every small noise outside. By morning, exhaustion settled deep in her bones. She forced herself through work, her hands shaking as she poured coffee, forcing smiles at customers. Nate noticed. "You okay?" She hesitated, then nodded. "Just tired." After her shift, she checked the parking lot twice before heading to her car. The black sedan wasn't there. Relief flooded her, but it was brief. She couldn't shake the feeling that he was still watching. She decided to take a different route home, avoiding familiar streets. Her hands tightened on the wheel as she glanced in the rearview mirror. No sign of him. At the next red light, she reached for her phone. Maybe she should tell someone. But what would she even say? That a man she barely knew seemed to appear wherever she went? That he had haunted her dreams? The honk of a car snapped her back. The light was green. She drove straight home, locked every door, and checked the windows twice. That night, sleep didn't come easily. When it did, the dream returned. The same dimly lit room, the mirrors. He was closer now. She could almost make out the words. "Lana." She woke with a gasp. Her phone buzzed on the nightstand. A message from an unknown number. "You shouldn't have ignored me." Lana stared at the message, her pulse hammering in her ears. She didn't respond. Instead, she turned off her phone, pacing her apartment. A sound outside made her freeze. Footsteps. Slow, deliberate. She crept to the window, peeking through the blind. Nothing. The street was empty. Her hands trembled as she locked her bedroom door. Sleep was impossible, but exhaustion won. When she drifted off, the dream pulled her under. The room was darker this time, the mirrors fogged. The man stood closer, his face still obscured. "You belong to me." She woke with a jolt. Morning light filtered through the blinds. Her phone buzzed again. Another message from the unknown number. "Don't fight this." Her stomach twisted. She had to do something. At work, she told Nate. His expression darkened. "That's not normal. Let me walk you to your car tonight." She hesitated but agreed. The shift dragged. Every time the bell above the door rang, she tensed. By the time closing came, she was on edge. Nate walked her out, scanning the parking lot. The black sedan was back. "Is that him?" Lana nodded. Nate didn't hesitate. He marched toward the car. The engine roared to life, tires screeching as it sped away. Lana's breath came in short gasps. "You need to go to the police." She knew he was right, but deep down she feared it wouldn't be enough. Lana sat in the police station, her fingers gripping the edge of the chair. The officer across from her, a man in his late 40s, listened without interrupting. When she finished, he leaned back, arms crossed. "The number is untraceable, could be a burner phone. And the car, no plates." She swallowed. "So what do I do?" "We can patrol near your apartment, file a report, but without a direct threat or physical harm, our options are limited." Lana nodded, numb. Nate was waiting outside. "What did they say?" "Nothing helpful." He exhaled sharply. "You're not staying alone tonight." Lana wanted to argue but was too drained. Nate's place was small, cluttered but warm. He tossed her a blanket. "Get some rest, I'll keep watch." Sleep came in fits. The dream returned. The man in the mirror was clearer now. His lips moved, but no sound came. Morning was worse. A new message waited. I'm closer than you think." Nate cursed when he saw it. "We need to figure out who this is." Lana's hands shook. "And how do we do that?" His jaw tightened. "We bait him." Lana sat at Nate's kitchen table, staring at her phone. The message was still on the screen. Nate stood behind her, arms crossed. "This guy wants you scared." She swallowed. "It's working." He glanced out the window. The morning light barely cut through the heavy clouds. The city outside felt distant, muted. "We need to be smart about this. You said you saw the car again last night." She nodded. Black sedan, tinted windows, parked down the street. It didn't follow us here, but it was watching. Nate grabbed his jacket. "Then let's make them move first." They left the apartment, walking at a steady pace. Lana forced herself to act normal. No looking over her shoulder, no sudden moves. They reached a busy street corner. Cars, people, noise. Nate pulled her aside. "If he's watching, he'll follow. When we split up, you go through the coffee shop. I'll double back. See if he takes the bait." Lana hesitated, then nodded. She stepped inside the cafe, the scent of roasted beans thick in the air. A line of customers waited to order. She moved toward the back, pretending to check her phone. Through the window, she caught a glimpse of Nate disappearing around the block. A minute passed, then another. Her pulse pounded. She counted the people in the shop, the barista, the cupper, the man in the corner booth with his laptop, the woman scrolling through her phone, the teenager with headphones. Something felt off. The man with the laptop wasn't typing. The screen in front of him was dark. His eyes flicked up, meeting hers for a fraction of a second before darting away. He shifted in his seat. A messenger bag rested beside him. Lana's breath caught. Her phone buzzed. A new message. "Don't run." She shoved the phone into her pocket, heart hammering. The man stood, slinging the bag over his shoulder. He moved toward the exit. Slow. Deliberate. Lana forced herself to breathe. If she ran, she'd lose control. If she froze, she'd be trapped. He stepped outside. She waited 3 seconds, then followed. The sidewalk was crowded. The man turned left, heading toward a side street. She kept her distance. Nate was supposed to be nearby, but she couldn't see him. Her phone vibrated again. "Come closer." She stopped walking. The man didn't. He kept moving, disappearing around the corner. A voice behind her. "Lena." She spun. "Nate." "I saw him. He's heading toward the alley. Let's go." They followed at a distance. The alley was narrow, lined with dumpsters, and a single rusted fire escape. The man was gone. Or hiding? Nate pulled out his phone, snapped a quick photo of the empty space ahead. We'll wait. If he's trying to lead us somewhere, we don't follow. If he's waiting, he'll have to move first. Minutes passed. The city noise buzzed behind them, distant but constant. Lana's phone remained silent. The air smelled like damp concrete and garbage. Then, movement. A shadow shifting near the dumpsters. Nate tensed. Lana gripped his arm. The figure stepped into the light. Not the man from the cafe. Someone else. Someone they'd seen before. Lana barely breathed. The figure in the alley stepped forward, half hidden by shadows. Not the man from the cafe. Someone else. She recognized him. The hooded jacket, the way he moved. She'd seen him before, outside her apartment 2 nights ago, standing too close to the building, watching. Nate shifted beside her, his body tensed. He noticed too. The man didn't speak. He stood near the dumpster, hands in his pockets, face obscured by the dim light. Then he turned and walked further into the alley, slow, unhurried. Lana's phone buzzed. A new message. Don't lose him. She swallowed hard. Nate glanced at her. Same number? She nodded. We don't follow. Her pulse pounded. The hooded man disappeared around the corner. Nate pulled her back against the alley wall. We let him think he's in control. Give it a minute. Lana exhaled, trying to steady herself. The air smelled like damp concrete and something rotten. Then, footsteps. Fast. Approaching. Lana braced herself, but the person who turned the corner wasn't the hooded man. It was someone else. A woman mid-30s, wearing a beige coat. She looked panicked. Her breath came fast, like she'd been running. She spotted them and froze. Did you see him? She asked. Lana's throat tightened. Who? The man, the one in the hood. Nate stepped in front of Lana. You know him? The woman swallowed, glanced over her shoulder. Her hands shook. He's been following me for days. I thought I lost him, but then I saw him again, here. Lana's phone buzzed. Another message. She's lying. Lana's blood turned cold. Nate noticed her reaction. His eyes flicked to the phone. What does it say? She hesitated, then showed him. The woman's eyes darted between them. Look, I don't know what's going on, but I need to get out of here. If he comes back... A sound cut her off. A metallic scrape, further down the alley. Nate pushed Lana behind him. The woman backed up a step. A figure emerged from the darkness. Not the hooded man. Someone else. A second man, dressed in black. No jacket, no hood. Just a blank expression. Eyes locked on them. Lana's phone buzzed again. Run. Lana didn't think. She turned and ran. The alley stretched ahead, dark and endless. Footsteps pounded behind her. Nate was right beside her, his breath sharp and controlled. The woman in the beige coat ran too, but not away. She ran toward the man in black. Lana's stomach clenched. Nate saw it too. He grabbed her wrist, pulling her left at the alley's fork. They skidded into another narrow passage, barely lit by a flickering street lamp. Lana's phone buzzed. Keep going. She shoved it into her pocket, focusing on her steps. The pavement was uneven, littered with trash. A broken glass bottle crunched under Nate's boot. Behind them, footsteps split. 2 sets, one following, one circling around. Nate cursed under his breath. He pulled Lana forward, pushing her ahead. Faster! She forced herself to move. The alley opened into a parking lot, mostly empty. A single streetlight cast a dim glow over cracked asphalt. A black sedan sat near the exit. Running wasn't an option, they'd be cornered. Nate pulled her between 2 parked cars, crouching low. Lana pressed her back against cold metal, trying to steady her breathing. Silence. Then, footsteps. Slow, deliberate. Lana reached for her phone, hands trembling. A new message appeared. Don't move. She froze. The footsteps stopped. A shadow stretched across the pavement, long and distorted. The man in black stood near the sedan, head tilted slightly, listening. Lana could feel Nate's tension beside her. The man turned. His gaze swept the lot. Then, without warning, he moved. Fast. Not toward them. Toward the alley they came from. Lana didn't dare breathe. The woman's voice echoed from the alley. "He's gone." No response. The man in black disappeared into the darkness. Lana exhaled. Nate tugged her sleeve, nodding toward the sedan. "Time to go." She nodded. They moved quickly, keeping low, reaching the far end of the lot. Beyond it, an empty street stretched ahead. Streetlights flickered. Lana's phone buzzed again. Left. She glanced at Nate. He didn't argue. They turned left, walking fast. The city felt empty. The usual sounds traffic, distant voices were gone. Only the wind, pushing leaves across pavement. Lana felt watched. Not just from behind, from ahead, from everywhere. Her phone buzzed again. "Don't stop." Lana and Nate kept moving. The street stretched ahead, quiet and empty. Their footsteps echoed against the pavement. Lana's phone buzzed again. Almost there. She didn't know where. A car engine rumbled in the distance. Headlights flickered at the far end of the street. A black sedan. Nate grabbed her wrist, pulling her into a side alley. Shadows swallowed them. He pressed his back against the cold brick wall, eyes locked on the approaching car. It slowed. The driver didn't get out. The headlights stayed on, casting long beams down the empty street. Lana's phone vibrated. Wait. The car idled for another few seconds. Then, it pulled away. Lana exhaled. Nate didn't move. He waited, listening. When the sound of the engine faded, he stepped forward, scanning the street. It was clear. Lana checked her phone. Now, they crossed quickly, slipping into another alley. A single light flickered above a rusted door. Nate knocked once. Silence. Then, the door creaked open. A man stood inside, late 50s, gray hair, tired eyes. He looked at them for a long moment before stepping aside. Inside, the air was thick with dust. Old furniture covered in sheets. The place felt abandoned. The man shut the door behind them. "You saw him, didn't you?" Lana nodded. He sighed, rubbing his face. "Then you don't have much time." Nate tensed. The man walked to a small table, pulling out a worn notebook. He flipped through the pages, stopping at one filled with symbols. He pointed to a name. Not a name, a place. Lana's phone buzzed again. "Go now." She looked at the man. He nodded. They left without another word.